What's up, guys? Welcome to World's Finest, brought to you by the Comic Collectors Guild. I am your host. You guys know me as the Superman. My name is Jake, and joined with me, as always, is Lee Lawson, the Batman himself. Lee, how are you today, sir?
I am great, my friend, and I am still riding high off of DC Fandome this weekend. But I'm also very excited because we have two special guests here tonight to help us break everything down. Because that's right, guys, we are breaking down DC Fandome. First up, we have the VP of the CCG, one Mr. LT. What's up, buddy? How are you?
How you doing, brothers? How you doing, my lady? How are you?
We are great, and as LT just pointed out, yes, we have another friend here tonight, Nadya, also known as Gotham Geek Girl. Nadya, thank you very much for being here with us tonight.
Thanks, guys.
Awesome. So this is going to be fun, guys. Obviously, there's a lot for us to go over. I think it's only appropriate for us to start with kind of the holy grail that we were all kind of anticipating with this event, and that is we finally got our first look at the Snyder Cut trailer. I think one word finally wraps this whole thing up. Hallelujah. It was a masterpiece. I'll get my thoughts at the end. But LT, what were your thoughts on the Snyder Cut trailer?
Man, just to see Darkseid start the whole,
Right off
video
the bat.
trailer. Yeah, right there. That you knew you were going to see something different. I loved it.
Yeah, I did too. Lee, what were your initial thoughts with the Snyder Cut, dude?
No, I mean, like you said, hallelujah. I loved it. I mean, basically everything you guys said, Darkseid right off the bat, that just goes to show us that this is going to be a completely different story than what we got on the screen 3 years ago. I mean, we've all read the different things, heard the rumors. I mean, we've got it all back. We saw Iris West, she's back in the game, so we're going to have a little bit more story with her. Cyborg's already gotten what I thought was more scenes in the trailer than he had in the original movie. So we know his story will be expanded. I mean, I'm just very, very excited. And the fact that we're getting 4 hours worth of this, I mean, this is incredible. I am really, I'm so thrilled. So thrilled.
Yeah, to your point, we're almost getting a sequel in itself.
Yeah,
because it's
exactly.
Two lengths, so we're definitely going to get all new stuff. Nadia, what were your thoughts on the Snyder Cut?
I'm super excited. I didn't completely hate the first movie, but this is definitely going to fix all the problems that I had with it. Because my main issue with the movie was the CGI was terrible, like the whole mustache thing.
Oh yeah,
everything. Yeah, like Steppenwolf looks absolutely horrendous. But just from what we've seen in the trailer, I feel like they're gonna fix all that. And then, like Lee mentioned, that we're gonna see Cyborg, the Mother Box, like a whole part of the movie that was missing. So I think that's gonna fix all the pacing problems as well. Because usually DC movies are like 3 hours, and that one was what, like 2? Like
it was
kind
of forced by Warner Brothers to be 120 minutes. They forced Zack to do that, or Joss afterwards.
Made a completely different movie.
Yep.
So
they're gonna have plenty of time. They're gonna have plenty of time to do the character arcs, which is so important. Zack said for a long time that this is really Cyborg's the heart of the movie. I think you really felt that in that trailer for sure. Ray Fisher looks like he actually gives like a masterful performance, by the way. Ezra Miller, his portrayal seems completely different of Flash. We finally get Batfleck back, like the real Batfleck, not that stupid Joss Whedon crap that he called Batfleck. It's especially that epic line he gives at the end of the trailer, like literally gave me chills. And I think it was perfect. I mean, I think the biggest thing that Zack was trying to show is like, I'm showing nothing that you got from Joss. Like, this is its own thing. It might look a little different, the same, but it's not. It's completely different. I loved it.
It looks the same just because they're the same actors, man. But like, I mean, we're gonna get a lot more of Apocalypse. Obviously, we're getting Desaad. We get a quick flash of him. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's going to be just incredible. Yeah. Oh, lots of great, cool stuff, man.
And I don't know if you saw when they showed the little Nightmare scene. We saw a Joker card in there. Yeah. We saw a Wonder Woman shield and the trident for Aquaman. So we're definitely gonna get some more Nightmare stuff, which is, I know, a big fan favorite with like the Nightmare Batman stuff. It's gonna be epic. And I love the music. And to your point, Nadia, me and Lee have talked about it. Zack Snyder, in my opinion, is the best, like literally the best visual person in Hollywood.
Watchmen is so underrated.
Watchmen 300.
I love Watchmen.
Regardless of even just visually, the slow motion stuff he does, and just the scenery. He's like the Alex Ross of like movies, where it's just unbelievable. So that was obviously the big haymaker. The other one I think we all were kind of not ready for. I mean, we were ready for it, but wasn't ready for this.
Nah.
No, I think we were not ready for it. I mean, we were trying to be.
Talking about a Mike Tyson in his prime haymaker. Oh my God. So they announced they only shot 25% of the movie. They have, it's the longest panel of the day. And Matt Reeves comes on, shows a little clip at the end, and it set the internet on fire. So LT, let's start with you. What were you? How many pants did you go through? How many tears?
Man,
and how many times?
I was, for lack of a better term, a total geek boy on fire. If to see the tone of the movie, to see the darkness that they're gonna, they're gearing towards, to see finally Pattinson, don the cape, and that one little snippet of him fighting was enough to just erase any doubt.
I'm not sure I call that a fight.
Oh man, that was an ass.
Have you seen the gifs of that scene? And it's like the guy. It says 2020, and it's just like my life, and it like Pattinson's 2020 is just his boomer. Man, dude, I tell you what, he is quick in that suit, man.
Oh boy,
he's got some moves. Nadia, what were your thoughts on the Batman trailer?
Oh man, so I was one of the biggest shit talkers when they cast Pattinson. I wasn't too excited. I was like, no, not at all. Like, yes, he's a great actor, but I couldn't picture it. I didn't see it. And then a few weeks ago when he was complaining about working out, I was like, you're Batman. Like, you need to man up and lift a couple pounds. And then we got the trailer, and I was like, what? Like, okay, this is what we need. Like, they're gonna go with the whole detective thing, and we're gonna see another side of Bruce that the movies haven't really shown much. So I'm excited to see that. I wasn't crazy about his hair, but I'm gonna let that slide. He's probably gonna slick it back later. But I was super excited. The whole Riddler thing, it's very Telltale Games and dark and gritty. And oh man, I'm hype. I watched the trailer 3 times in a row.
Oh yeah, I mean, if the biggest nitpick you can give is the hair, I will take that any day.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, I'll take that.
Especially, Lee, what were your thoughts on the Batman?
I was blown away. I mean, I wasn't one of the people. I've said it before. Ben Affleck to me is the best Batman. So yes, I was very disappointed that he wasn't carried over and his vision wasn't going to be seen. But when they recast Robert Pattinson, I was for one thought, hey, I think he can pull this off. You know what I mean? He with his career trajectory, that everything he's done since Twilight and all that, he's built up a credibility, acting credibility. So I knew he wasn't going to come weak. And so this, like I said, should have put all the naysayers, and it sounds like it did in some respects for some who were kind of teetering in that direction here. But yeah, it blew me away. I for one, Jake, you and I talked about it when they showed a still picture of his costume. I was like, you know what I mean? But seeing it in action and seeing him when he steps up there with the cops, and all of us are Batman fans, Batman readers. We've all seen him being there with the cops as they're doing the detective work and all of that stuff. That was a scene right out of the comics right there. You know what I mean? When he's there with Jim, there at the crime scene. So that was incredible. Like I said, his costume looked awesome. The fight scene or the beat down scene was incredibly awesome.
Vengeance.
Yes, vengeance. I think the fact that we saw Oswald Cobblepot and no one recognized that was the man playing him. You know what I mean? Yes, I know, right? I mean, that was just great. And I think this reminds me a lot of, Matt Reeves, honestly, I've seen not a lot of his films, but I saw the Planet of the Apes and stuff. So not to take anything away from him, but that opening scene reminded me of something out of Seven. Like David Fincher's Seven. You know what I mean? When he was wrapping it with the darkness that Fincher usually has in his films. That's what it took me to. I think we're going to see our first rated R Batman movie. I think we are on the verge of that happening, guys, because I just can't see how what we saw would translate well. I mean, it could be a hard PG-13, but I think they're going for an R on this.
Especially if it's going to be the Riddler murdering people, leaving clues, and he's leaving a trail of dead people. Yeah, it's got to be rated R.
Yeah, I mean, for me, the two.
Nadia's happy.
There's 2 superheroes you make rated R: Wolverine and Batman. Look what rated R did for Logan. They're going to do the same thing with the Batman, and it's going to be epic. My thoughts were the same when I first saw the suit. I was like, meh. But when I saw it in action, I've never had such a turnaround on a costume, and I was like, yo, I dug it. I loved everything about it. The music of the trailer was perfect. Jeffrey Wright was perfect, and it's showing he didn't cast big names. He casted very talented actors, and you're already seeing it in that 25%. And it just makes me just so giddy for the rest of the 75% coming. I really think they're onto something special. I really do.
Yeah,
I do too.
On the behind the the sound, we heard Andy Serkis as Alfred.
Oh, he's going to be a great
with
Alfred.
his fatherly advice and questioning his motives, or it's like, I see you've become quite the something about famous or something regarding.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny. Matt Reeves promised 4 things when he signed on to Batman. He said, I promise it's going to be dark, gritty, and something we haven't had before. We're going to hit the detective part of Batman. He's not going to be polished yet, so he's going to be a little crazy.
Yeah,
and
year 2, they said, right?
Yeah, year 2.
And it's going to be its own thing. And as soon as I watched the trailer, I was like, ding, number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4. In the trailer, I was like, he got all 4 of those right there. He nailed it.
And I think the biggest surprise is everybody had been, not a bigger surprise, but it was interesting to find out, I should say, is that everyone was kind of saying this is based on the Long Halloween. And we come right out and he just said Batman Ego, which I will say and admit, I'm not very familiar with that, that story. So I don't know. Jake, sounds like LT or Nadia, have you guys read that one?
Long Halloween, yes. I love that one.
No, Batman Ego.
Oh, no, I have not read that one at all.
Yeah.
Not if you read Ego?
Nope. So I think she hasn't read it yet.
Again.
Yeah,
no,
it's all good.
No, but it's going to be awesome. I'm really excited. I think he's going to. My last thought on that is when I saw the trailer, I said, thank God they didn't cast Nicholas Hoult. Because if you remember, they were the 2 finalists. Yeah. There's no way I could picture him doing that dark, what Robert Pattinson would do. He's just, I don't know why. I just can't picture it. But it was so incredible. We also had another. This one was a little sad because this movie should be out by now. We should have already enjoyed this movie's glory. The Wonder Woman 84 panel. We got our first full look at Cheetah. What were your guys' initial thoughts on that trailer? Lee, let's start with you on that one.
I think that it's going to be great. And as you said, yes, even though I was really excited to see it, we should be ready to buy this on Blu-ray already almost. You know what I mean? But I thought Kristen Wiig, since you said, ended with her, I think she's going to be phenomenal as Cheetah. I love the fact, inspired casting on their part, and she's pulling it off. We got to see her in action, see her in her full Cheetah form. Looks great. I think it looks awesome. I love the kind of comedy I'm curious to see how Steve Trevor comes back, of course. I do love the whole comedy with them, the radar scene. He's, in fact, he was like, I could fly, I could do stuff with planes or whatever it is. He was like, oh, radar. Are they going to shoot us? Will they shoot us? It's just going to be some great comedy in there. But I and some great action too as well. And like I said, I think Kristen Wiig inspired casting. She's gonna be phenomenal in the role.
She is. She looked great too. That Cheetah look was fantastic. LT, what were your thoughts on Woman 84?
I didn't know how they were going to perceive a 1984 movie, especially when they had talked about Wonder Woman in Batman versus Superman or in Justice League, how she hadn't been around for all this time, and yet we all of a sudden we see her in 1984. Her own. So I wonder if they're going to touch on that. Other than that, I was happy to see it because I loved the first one. The period piece, the intro to Wonder Woman. Gal Gadot is a beautiful woman. She carries the movie on her shoulders the whole way through, at least the first one, and I really anticipate it's going to be like this too. I'm glad to see we've got a couple of old school villains of hers, especially in Cheetah and Maxwell Lord. And I touched on this last time. Oh wait, I touched on this Maxwell Lord. In the comics, Wonder Woman kills him. Spoiler alert! I'm sorry, but in the comics, she kills him. So I'm really hoping they either touch on that, elude, or maybe dance around that fact. But I'm really excited to see.
Well, she killed Ares, so
Yeah.
She'll kill somebody. Nadia, would you?
Jake said she'll kill somebody. She'll do it.
Nadia, what do you think?
I'm pretty excited. When they first cast Kristen Wiig, I was a little like on the defense, but I think same thing. Like the trailer kind of sold me. I think her costume looks great, and she seems like she's still gonna have her funny side and a serious side.
Oh yeah.
So I'm pretty hype. And then Pedro Pascal, I love him. So I'm super excited to see him in this. And
Mandalorian.
Yeah, I think everything was great.
Himself.
The first Wonder Woman was absolutely amazing and was like one of the saving graces for DC. So I'm excited for that too. And Gal's amazing. So I think it's going to be good. Hopefully you can see it in theaters.
I know. Same for me. I absolutely loved it. I think it picked up. I got the same vibes that I got from the first one, which is a very positive thing. It had great heart, a lot of fun moments, a lot of great action, but some serious moments, some heartfelt moments. So I think we're in for Patty Jenkins is phenomenal, and Gal Gadot is Wonder Woman, and Chris Pine is phenomenal. So really excited for that. Those were kind of, I guess, the main, trailers and full trailers that we got. Movie-wise. One panel in particular, at least for me, that just shook me too. That even though it didn't have a trailer, was Black Adam. I think everybody. Who knew that some people would get so hype over something that didn't have a trailer, and nobody can hype people up like The Rock. What did you guys think of Black Adam? Let's just have an open conversation about it. Since there really wasn't a trailer, what did you guys think of Black Adam?
I was very excited about it. I think, to your point, without a trailer, this was probably the nearest or the closest thing he could, the animation that popped up and stuff like that. The fact that they announced, there's all been whispers for 2 years now about Hawkman being in this. The fact that we're getting old Carter Hall in there, I think is awesome. I can't wait to see. He's kind of always been still that he's kind of like that B tier that's right close to being the A guy, A-list guy always. You know what I mean? So I think this might push him to the other upper echelon. I'm excited to see him, Atom Smasher, and Cyclone, Dr. Fate especially. I mean, the fact that Hawkman and Dr. Fate, I think they chose the best two to kind of have as his nemesis, I guess, because they kind of have that long history that Black Adam does, especially Carter Hall. You know what I mean? Kind of ties to the
reincarnation.
Yeah. So I think that's great. I'm really excited to see. I thought there would be more casting, especially since they've already cast Atom Smasher. So I thought for sure we'd get some casting on Hawkman. The rest of the film, Dr. Fate and all that stuff. But no, I thought it was awesome. And the fact that he keeps alluding to the fact that we might see old Kal-El pop up, old Superman himself. I think that would be really cool if that were to go down also.
Oh, yeah. I mean, they have the same agent, the same marketing, management consulting as for Henry and Dwayne, so it's got to happen. LT, what do you think of Black Adam?
I'm just waiting for it to finally come out as Black Adam. It's been like 10 years in the making. I mean, he's wanted to, and then he gets signed on, and then nothing happens. You've seen years and years of fan art of him in a Black Adam suit. And I'm just happy we finally get to see him. We get to see his story evolve. We get to see him eventually clash with said Superman, Shazam himself. It's going to be great. I mean, that right now, it's already a trilogy of movies planned out from just on this one movie, on this one first outing. Yeah, I'm really excited.
Yeah, I think they're setting him up to kind of maybe even be the big bad for DC. You know what I mean? I mean, they can use him for a lot of different things, and he's the biggest movie star in the world. But Nadia, what did you think of Black Adam?
I'm really excited for that too. The Rock's been trying to get this role for 4 or 5 years now. We've been hearing rumors swirling around. So happy to finally see something happen. The concept art looked amazing. He's talking a lot of crap at the end, so I think we're gonna see some pretty cool stuff. And I can't wait to see him in Shazam.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. For 5 minutes, The Rock was ranting. I think it's gonna be fun.
Yeah, it's funny because to your point, Lee, the one thing I was disappointed in was the no cast. They didn't announce much casting. The one character I don't really give two hoots about being in the movie is Atom Smasher, and that's the only character they showed. I don't care about Atom Smasher. I want to see Hawkman and Dr. Fate or Superman or Shazam.
Yeah, they didn't give us enough yet.
Also, that dude looks just like Mark Ruffalo and sounds just like Mark Ruffalo, which is kind of funny. But it'll be cool to see the vibe they go, considering he's such a strong anti-hero. The last panel that actually like kind of showed something, because I don't think the Shazam 2 or Aquaman 3 really was much.
No, I would say I was actually kind of disappointed with both of those two trailers, actually, considering I just Shazam was supposed to have started filming, I think. Or maybe I'm wrong, but just like a couple months ago.
You got the title, and that was it.
Yeah, I know. So I thought, I mean, it was humorous and all of that, but I mean, it was definitely a little bit of a letdown. And the Aquaman one was even less information. I mean, it was just Patrick Wilson and James Wan, which was great to see the camaraderie between the two. I mean, this is their 5th film together out of the horror section, out of Conjuring 1 and 2 and Insidious 1 and 2. But so that's great, and I know that he'll have a role in it. But I was expecting just a little bit more from that as well. So I mean, out of those movie ones, those would be the ones that I was disappointed in. But we did get
Suicide Squad.
Yeah,
Suicide Squad, the last one. They didn't really show a trailer, but they showed like behind the scenes stuff. Man, oh man, they got a lot of characters, and it's got James Gunn's footprint all over it. Like I loved hearing how much fun they had, how like you could generally tell how excited they were to show off this movie.
Yeah.
And I'm really excited. What were your thoughts on Suicide Squad, Lee?
For Suicide Squad, we got like two different things with Suicide Squad, right? We got that behind the scenes thing that was kind of cool, where they were showing interviews, but then clips from the film. The clips that they showed, I thought, were just a little bit. They were great, you know what I mean? But it was just enough to wet your whistle a little bit. But then we got that little cool, the introduction of all the characters, I guess. Yeah, the intro with all of the different characters. So it was good in a way that they gave us like some insight into who people were playing. I mean, we finally got an idea of who.
Idris Elba.
Yes, Idris Elba's playing, and the fact that it was kind of interesting because I think 2 days before that, James Gunn had said he had not seen one person guess, and he was absolutely right. I think it would have been cooler to see him play Bronze Tiger. The fact that he's playing some C-list hero who's really kind of only popped up every now and then. It is what it is. I think he'll make the best of the role. But I think Suicide Squad is going to be awesome. The whole theme behind it, the 70s war film, they say. It's gonna be something totally different. It's a huge cast, huge cast. Yeah. So I think there's gonna be a lot of expendable characters that happen.
A lot of expendable. It's funny. LT, what do you think of Suicide Squad?
It looks like a great direction they've taken to making this a not sequel supposedly, but a continuation maybe. I love the fact that there's like 100 characters. I mean, what is it, like 12 or 15?
Yeah.
I mean, that just tells you maybe half of them are going to die first couple of shots. I mean, my money's on like Javelin and Polka Dot Man to get killed right off the bat. I'm pretty excited. I'm glad Harley came back. I mean, what's her face?
Margot Robbie.
Margot Robbie to come back. And they didn't replace her. There's a lot of good points to this movie. I'm just excited. Hopefully, down the road, McFarlane makes a figure for each one of these for me to collect. So.
I think it's crazy. They finally I would never thought we'd see Polka Dot Man in a live action film. Like, I can't believe he's in a film. It's awesome. I pray to God that Taika Waititi is the voice of King Shark. I'm gonna leave that there.
I think that's gonna happen.
I think it's gonna be one of those movies, regardless of like what. It's gonna be fun. Like, it's gonna be a movie experience. It's gonna be cool. Nadia, what'd you think of Suicide Squad?
Yeah, I think it's a movie you don't take seriously. Like, you just go in not knowing what to expect. It's going to be like a lot of fun. Like, super excited, like you said, that they're bringing Margot back. They're bringing back Rick Flag, Amanda Waller, Captain Boomerang. So I'm happy to see them. I remember originally reading that Idris was going to replace Deadshot, but now he's going to be Bloodsport. So that's pretty cool. So they're leaving it open if Will wants to return. So I think that's pretty cool, and it's a lot of like C-list and D-list like characters. So it's super interesting, like to see all these characters like in live action. I think it's gonna be fun. Pretty excited.
It is gonna be fun. Yeah, I mean, and what better guy to do it than James Gunn? I mean, if he can do it with Rocket, and I mean, it's funny to think now, but at the time, like, most people had no idea who the hell the Guardians of the Galaxy were, like, at all.
Oh yeah.
Like, I mean, I didn't know who like Rocket or any of those guys were. I have heard of Star-Lord, I think, and that was Nebula. That was pretty much it.
Yeah, he took it to another level.
Nebula.
Yeah,
He made it mainstream.
Oh yeah, and I think he'll do that. And he's got Harley there. Obviously, she'll pull a lot of weight, I'm sure. But
yeah.
The last thing, that was really the movies. The last thing we can touch on really fast.
Oh no, we forgot old Flashpoint, man.
Oh yes,
Flashpoint. I mean, that was a big one.
We didn't really show too much of the concept art for that. What'd you think of Flash? We got our first look at a little art of Michael Keaton in the bat suit.
Yeah,
and obviously the big news that sucks. I wish they would have announced it at Fandom, but obviously for me, the only thing I give a crap about that movie is Ben Affleck's coming back. And we're gonna get back. And hopefully we get a scene of Keaton Batman and Affleck Batman. Same scene. The new Flash looks awesome. I can't wait. What are you guys' thoughts on Flash? Lee, let's start with you.
Sure. No, I think the Flash, like you said,
the biggest news of 2020 was Ben Affleck.
Yeah, I know.
True.
Yeah, no, I think the Flash, like you said, everything about it you covered basically. I mean, the Flash suit is going to be great. I never have been a fan of the bulkiness of his Flash costume. That's one thing I would say. So I'm glad that we're getting it more streamlined. I do think another a big thing that came out of that pertains to this particular film is that they are embracing the multiverse. You know what I mean? Because the fact that we've got 3 different Batman running around within a matter of months of DC film, well, not a matter of months, but within a year of DC films between the Justice League, the new Batman, and then Flash coming out with 2 different Batman running around in there. That's going to be incredible. So no, I'm excited about that. And then I think we'll get a little Grant Gustin cameo in that as well, kind of like a repayment from Ezra popping up in the Crisis miniseries that ran. Yeah, the CW. So I think that'll be cool as well. And I think Cyborg will be probably really involved in in Flashpoint also. I know he hasn't really made any announcements, but I think we're going to get a lot of Cyborg in that film.
I think so too. Nadia, what were your thoughts on Flash? LT, what are your thoughts on Flash?
I'm just excited to finally see a Flash movie, and now that we know it's probably going to be more than Flashpoint than that originally, they had planned. Only that the fact that they're going to open up the multiverse now, everything's going to be like together.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
that's just going to open up so many stories. Oh, I can't wait.
Embrace the madness.
I'm glad to see whatever Ezra Miller's past or whatever he did outside of being the Flash has not come to haunt him. I'm glad that they're still going to use him.
Yeah, there's a lot of questions about that. You're right.
There's a lot of questions. Yeah, and then to see him, basically pimp out the movie that's going to come out. Yeah, I'm ready.
Me too. I love Flash. I'm glad I'm surprised. I mean, who would have thought we'd get a Guardians of the Galaxy movie before we got a Flash movie, for crying out loud?
True story.
Nadia, what do you think about the Flash?
No, she can't hear.
We've been waiting for a Flash movie for years. I feel like this movie's been in production for like as long as, I don't know, they were first cast. Like it's been in talks and then canceled and then in talks and then canceled and rumors. And then like now it's finally coming to light, and to hear Keaton and Ben coming back, I'm just like, I'm already sold based on that, like on a Flashpoint. The concept art looks pretty cool. I feel like the panel was a little low. It wasn't my favorite panel. I think that's because we weren't given that much yet, but it's still exciting with like just the news that we got. So as we get more and more, I think I'll get more excited about it.
Yeah, LT, I gotta ask you, what was your inner child doing when you saw the Keaton fan art?
Oh man, I mean, at first they didn't mention or they didn't show you. It's just after the fact when it was already on the net, that people were like, "Hey, zoom in," and I was like, "Okay." Oh my God, you see the Batman logo, you can tell it's Keaton. Oh, I was like, yeah.
It's and I genuinely think we're gonna get Jeffrey Dean Morgan in there at some point too, doing Flashpoint Batman. They got to do stuff. Hopefully that's the case. Those are the movies. I think the last thing we'll touch on are obviously the 2 video games. We got the Suicide Squad against the Justice League.
Oh yeah.
And we got Gotham Knights. Let's just talk about both of them at the same time. Lee, what was your what was the video games for you?
I'll be quick. The video games I thought they were incredible. Gotham Knights looks awesome. I think that the fact that I was very excited to see, I was a little nervous at first, I should say, that I thought Damian Wayne had yet again usurped Tim Drake and kicked him out to the curb. But I was very happy to hear that Tim Drake will be the Robin in there. I think this is a great idea for the game. I do not think that Bruce Wayne is dead. I do believe Bruce Wayne will be the main boss that we have to beat at the end or something like that. You know what I mean? The big bad that we have to beat. Yeah, I think he'll be talented as well. You know, I do. I think that's what's going to happen. And then that'll be the like I said, the main bad guy or whatever they call the big boss at the end. That's who we have to fight. But that looks incredible. Suicide Squad game looks fantastic. I think Brainiac is going to be involved. And I love the fact that that takes place in the Arkham universe. Yeah. You know what I mean? So I think that looks great. I love the people that they chose to be the playable characters, and it's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, that trailer, the Captain Boomerang land at the end is hilarious. Like, I love that. LT, what do you think of the video games?
Gotham Knights is going to be exciting. I love the fact that you're going to get to play the Bat Fam, and choose between the Robins. I mean, of course, eventually I'll play as Batgirl, but right off the bat, I will be Nightwing and maybe finish the game before I become Red Hood or Robin, or I'll save Batgirl for last.
There you go. I love the online play too. That's going to happen with it.
Oh
You know what I mean?
yeah. You get 4 people playing as each character. Take down the game. Oh, it's going to be great. Suicide Squad is going to be just as good. Too bad we have to wait till 2022, but hey, all good.
I know.
All good things come. So
I know. I gotta ask, Lee, who are you playing with first? I know you're Tim Drake guy. You going Tim Drake? You going Nightwing?
Ooh, I'm going Nightwing. I'm gonna say Nightwing. I'm sorry. I am excited that Tim Drake is in there, but I'm going Nightwing.
Nadia, what do you think of the 2 video games?
I'm hype as hell. Like, I'm a Arkham fan. Rocksteady Batman. I have like a bunch of books, all the toys, the Joker LED light up. So once I saw like Rocksteady's doing the game, I was like, I'm sold. I'm actually more excited for Gotham Knights though than the Suicide Squad game, but I'm still excited for both. For me, I think it's because we didn't get a gameplay yet, so cutscenes could always look amazing, and if the gameplay is not on point, but like I said, it's Rocksteady, so I have faith. And then for Gotham Knights, I like that they gave us like little teasers here and there. Like, we didn't really get anything besides like Code Thing a couple weeks ago, and then like they just blew us away with so much. Like, I felt like I was at E3. Like, it was amazing.
The gameplay was crazy.
I don't know about you guys personally too. I'm actually more excited that we're playing as the Bat Family than Batman, just because I've done it so many times. I've always wanted to be Robin or Nightwing, and the fact that we're finally getting to do that, I think it's going to be refreshing, and
Nightwing.
it's going to be. And I think Batgirl is going to be. I mean, the gameplay, the Batgirl looked badass, so it is going to be awesome.
Yeah, it's going to be great. It's going to be, I think this is going to be phenomenal. Like I said, 2022 was a little sad. I was watching with my son, and he was like, is that real? He was like, we're waiting another year for this game.
The way games are now being made, they're adding downloadable content through the whole year. So you might just take this whole year playing Gotham Knights and then get into, you'll get into Suicide Squad right after. So
it's gonna be awesome.
The last thing I'll say about games is I was disappointed that there was no Injustice, and I'll leave it at that.
Justice 3.
Justice 3. Yeah, I was kind of hoping there'd be a little fun.
I do think it's still coming soon.
They might have saved some stuff for part 2 in September. You're right about that.
Exactly, but
before we wrap,
that was awesome.
It was great. The last thing before we wrap, I know we're wrapping soon, is I just needed to say 2 things. Is that I wanted to give out the shout out to Titans because I was really excited. I love that show, as you guys know, and I love the fact that they cast that we're going to see Barbara Gordon. Jason Todd is becoming the Red Hood. Of course, that kind of shortens his storyline and changes it up. But hey, we'll get the Red Hood, which is going to be awesome, and we get Scarecrow, which I think is really, really cool too. So yeah, I don't know if you guys had any. I'm excited about that. And the last thing, but I will say one more thing, and then we'll go. Is that I'm also very disappointed that there was no Superman announcement or Man of Steel announcement, which I think was a big waste. I mean, they have their Trinity displayed through the whole thing. You know, every time they go back to that room, they're showing Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman. We got Batman and Wonder Woman movies. Can you imagine what would have happened if they had just laid out a Man of Steel 2, or at least announced them in some film? You know what I mean? I mean, the fact that that's the first DC Fandom came and went with not a peep about any new Superman in any movies, I think was a travesty.
Well, they're doing part 2 to this fandom next month, right? September?
And they might want to save it for that. You're right.
So maybe.
One last haymaker. One last haymaker there at the end. But hopefully we'll get the Hawkman. I'm really hoping for the Hawkman Dr. Fate announcement too. That's that and anything Superman related is what I'm really looking forward to for part 2 for DC Fandom. But that was part 1. It was an amazing event. All us DC fans. It was basically Christmas, and it was so nice just to have some good news and something to look forward to, which is awesome. Let us know what your favorite part of DC Fandom was. While you're at it, please hit that subscribe button, hit the comment. Check out our website, www.ComicCollectorsGuild.com. Guys, it's been really fun to talk about this amazing event. I can't wait to talk about part 2, and we appreciate you coming on.
Yeah, I appreciate you inviting. Thank you.
Yeah, guys, thank you very much for having me.
Until next time. Yeah, absolutely. Keep hunting, guys.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to DC Fandome.